How y'all doing today? My name's Ayin, and today the topic of discussion is going to be avoid doing things at work that you shouldn't be doing. Avoid doing things at work that you shouldn't be doing. So, in other words, do what you're supposed to. Work. One of the reasons behind this topic of discussion today is because sometimes when you dislike a job or even go as far as say that you hate working or doing whatever it is you're doing, you justify away bad behaviors. You think just because, I don't like doing this, I don't really want to have to work. If that's the case, then do something else. Because when you adopt that type of attitude, you start stacking burdens up on yourself that you don't want no part of. You start stacking things against you. That's when things start to get harder at work. Because if you don't like your work and you start doing things that you shouldn't be doing at work, people are going to say something to you. They're going to have complaints to you. Or when it comes to review time, you might not get what you expected. You just be all around disgruntled. And nobody likes being called out on this. And as a matter of fact, it makes it even more agitating. You don't like doing what you're doing, and then you're called out about doing something that you're not supposed to be doing. So avoid doing what you're not supposed to be doing at work. I have a story. Years ago, when I worked at a department store when I was a teenager, in between high school and college, and I was working at this department store which sold electronics, furniture, clothing, jewelry. They sold it all. And when I worked at this department store, I did shipping and receiving. So shipping and receiving, it was a relatively easy job because all I had to do is when somebody bought something, I get paid to come up there, load it up in the car. And when I'm not doing that, I was supposed to be, cleaning up on the back dock, organizing inventory, all of that. Well, something that happened at work transpired, had me agitated, was aggravated. So just so happened, a close friend of mine, big brother, he worked there. He worked over in the electronics department. So I went over and I'm talking to him. And since I am very animated with not only my facial expressions, but my hand movements and gestures as well, I'm talking to him, telling him about what's going down. He's talking. And just kind of give you a setup of what's going around. Two other associates in the background. I'll tell you about what they were doing later. There's two other associates in the background. One of them was tossing a ball to my big brother, and he's talking to me, and giving me counsel as needed, and he's tossing the ball back and forth. So all of a sudden, I hear, Aim, this person, and this person, all to the back training room. So I'm like, thought that was strange. Immediately had a feeling about it as soon as it happened, because that was something rare. So we all went back to this back room. We're sitting in there and we're like, we're like all different walks of life here. I'm shipping and receiving. Big brother, he sells stuff in electronics. Other gentleman, he sells stuff in furniture. I mean, not furniture, appliances. Home appliances, and this other guy, he was in electronics. So to kind of give you how I set up the tone of this meeting, they're dressed in shirts and ties, and I'm in this t-shirt and my jeans or whatever I had on for my work attire with this back brace on. So the supervisor, he comes in, and he has these documents printed up. So he goes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass these out to you. He said, I want you to read one statement, pass it along. So it's me. I still remember the way that it was set up. It was me, my big brother, then the two other associates on the one end. So he passes it to the first guy. So the first guy, he reads on here. It says, came over to the department. Nobody was available to help me. So he passes it to the next guy. He reads, attempted to ask associate for help. They acted annoyed and aggravated. So he passes it to the next guy. Nobody to help me in the department. So he passed it to me. So I read off my segment, or whatever it was. So I think what you probably can already get from the video, who these complaints were from and what this was in regards to. Because after I heard the first or the second one, I'm like, oh boy. What it was a list of what customers thought when they came in the store, how they were handled by the employees. So he did a round of this. Well, we probably read about 2 questions apiece. He stopped it, so probably about like 8 questions. So he goes, I want to show you something. He goes, just hang tight. So he wheels out this television with a VCR hooked up on it, plays videotapes for you younger viewers, and he pushes play on the video. On the video, there's no audio. So in the video, you see me up here talking, just about the equivalent of you watching this video with no sound. Hands are moving, face is frowned up, got this unit on my face. Big brother's talking to me, and he's nodding, and he's going back and forth. He's passing this football. The other 2 associates in the background, they're passing the football. They actually took it a little further, though. In between them passing the football, now keep in mind, everybody but me are in shirt and ties. They start to reenact some wrestling segments. So the one grabs the one dude, and he starts dropping his fake elbow on him, and they're tussling and all in shirt and tie, loafers, the whole 9. So they go back passing the ball. So one of them passed the ball to one of the people. I can't remember if it was my friend that I was talking to or one of the other associates. It goes over his hands and flies off the screen. So the supervisor, the store manager, he steps in. He goes, oh, that was a nice pass. That was an awesome pass. He goes, I noticed nobody in the video caught that. Where did the ball go? You think somebody caught it down there in the men's department? Or maybe somebody caught it in furniture. Don't know. Do y'all know who caught? We're all looking at one another and we're shaking our heads. Because it's immediate embarrassment. It was just a lot, and it was. What could you say to this? What would be your defense for this? And he wasn't nasty. The way that he brought this up, he wasn't belittling. It was actually the ideal way to address some associates in regards to this man. So he goes on talking. He goes, I know each one of you all's situations. And he was like, I'm letting you work here, and this is how you do. So he kind of talks to us on a private individual basis, all collectively, but he goes, so and so, that I know what you were dealing with, and you're gonna do me like this. So he goes on down the line. He's like, come on, and I'm just shaking me. Normally, and especially at that point in my life, I had problems taking criticism. Would have been attitude all over the place. But what could you say with that? Hand was caught in the cookie jar, and that's the reason why I'm talking to you about it with this video here today. Needless to say, we all walked out of there, heads hanging low. And I remember talking to my friend. We just kind of laughed it off, and we all went back to our respective jobs of doing what we were supposed to do. I had a friend, and actually, this was about the time I was in college, because this friend that I had, he was in loss prevention, and we went to the same junior college. And I went back there, and I was talking to him. He goes, this was after the supervisor left for the day. He was like, as soon as he came in and he asked for that video, he said, we're standing there watching that video, and he goes, man, I'm seeing, you better not catch that ball. You better not catch that ball. Which I didn't, but it was bad enough because I was out of my department. I wasn't supposed to be over here socializing and whatnot. So, needless to say, a few years later, I had relocated, and I was talking to my big brother on the phone in the store, and the supervisor was around. He was like, let me talk to Ayn. So he got on the phone, and he was really outgoing, and I joked with him about coming back. He was like, yeah, you come back, I'll hire you. Sure enough, when I did come back, he not only hired me, but he hired a family member as well. So good to see that my work didn't suck that horribly at that point in time. So the point of the video is, even though I was in school at the time, this was not the thing that I was stopping on to do here for the rest of my life. Still should have been doing what I'm supposed to do, not caught with my hands in the cookie jar. And just wanted to share that with you. Avoid trying to justify away bad behaviors. And until next time, my name's Ayn. Stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged, and you have a good one.